contradiction. And contradictions for the master are opportunity. Contradiction is opportunity. Contradiction reveals the divine. It's at the place of contradiction that paradox lives between the cherubs in the temple, the male and female cherubs that are embraced in paradox contradiction in that inner space, that white space, that empty space between the contradictions. That's where holiness emerges. That's where God lives. God lives in the space of the contradiction. So that's the mystical way of asking a question and finding the divine. And so he says it's a contradiction. Does God laugh in the inner places? Or does God cry in the inner places? So the Talmud says, that is in the inner house, and that is in the outer house. Meaning, one verse refers to the inner house of God, and the other refers to the outer house of God. The inside and the outside. Hababate bagai, hababate gavai, in Aramaic. But of course, the Talmud doesn't tell us which is which. Is laughter on the inner house? Or are tears on the inner house? And most Kabbalists read it, of course, the classical reading, in God's inner place, God's unaffected by the world. A classical Vedanta non-dual position, right? God's not affected by what happens in the world. On the outer place, there God cries. But in the inner place, God's all joy and laughter. And the Rebbe of Piaseczna in the Warsaw Ghetto, right, feeling the infinite pain of God, he says, no, that's not the reading, that's not the teaching. In the outer place of the divine, God laughs. But in the inner place, God cries. Because God's tears are so infinitely powerful. We're used to thinking about divine power. God's infinity is infinite power. But he turns it on its head and he says, no, divine infinity is infinite pain. And God feels the infinite pain of the world. And God cries. And if that tear would but fall in the outer world, the world would be destroyed. So in an act of infinite love, God holds the divine tears in the inner house in order to allow the world the possibility of existence.